and we achieve our target of 15 billion trees every year. Number two, I was just looking at how the setup of the CBO, and I realized that there's much that we can collaborate between the CBO and the Agriculture Department. For example, we are talking of the identification of the farmers. Also, us in agriculture, we have got this word agricultural officers. If you can approach us, identification of the farmers, because these are the people who have been dealing with the farmers. They know each and every farmer in the world and the acreage of land that farmer is having. So if we can partner, we have our agricultural officers here to Mr. Obutu Apo. We can always arrange so that we have a collaboration between the environment department, ambayo naona GOI, and agriculture department, and all of us here, so that we can achieve our agenda. Number three, we are having a program in agriculture which is coming. The program is called INREMP. This is a program coming which is sponsored by other people from abroad. This program, majorly, when I was looking at this and what that program is propagating, they are almost similar. Because one of the component one in that project is NRM. NRM, that's called what? Natural Resource Management. That is component one. And also mobilization program, which is coming. And when I'm also looking at the value chain, that is component two, the value chain that they are propagating are good. We are talking of the bee keeping, apiculture. We are talking of dairy, although this one does not touch about dairy. We are talking about fruit trees because of the what? The forest bit. I think there's much that we can borrow, there's much that we can collaborate, so that when it comes, we onboard this our CBO, and we do much that we can do. Lastly, because I have Waziri here, I say that people, when you are talking, always unaangalia mbele ama nyuma. I'll say that you people, I think you are doing very well. Even the presentation alone shows that this is a serious organizer. We've been called into organizations. Unaenda pale mnakaa chini ya mti. Remember, we have come and we have sat in Florence Hotel. That one shows the seriousness of this program. So it is just our duty to support this program, so that all our objectives, all our agenda is actually done what? Achieved. Otherwise, I may not have much to say. What I just wanted to say, in this program that is coming also, we are focusing so much on forests. We are focusing so much on wetlands. We are focusing so much on wetlands. We are focusing so much on arable land, and we are focusing so much on the source, major source, that is water. And when I'm looking at this program of the Pillars Care Foundation, our number one thing is to ensure that our climate is covered with trees, which means, and when our climate is covered with trees, we also try to regenerate our water source. Is it a resource or water source? Which is better? It is a water source. So please, when our project is starting soon, we shall also look at you people. We shall onboard you and make sure that we are achieving the agenda of our program. Otherwise, I may not have much to say. God bless you so much. And any support that is required from the county, tuko na waziri hapa, we are having our colleagues here. We shall always assist if need be. Asanteni sana. God bless you. And may you help me welcome our waziri by a round of applause. Moja, hey, can it be organized? One. Asante sana waziri, karibu sana, so that you can talk to your people. Karibu.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, colleagues. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So first, I will introduce myself. My name is Lucas Masenda. Masenda here is the CC the County Executive Committee member responsible for agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and blue economy. And I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, but first things first, to my brother Rogers. Rogers Owenga, where are you? Who is the team lead? Yeah, he's walked out. We also have Titus. I think you are a member of the board of this particular organization, Pillars Care Foundation. My colleagues from the county government of Migori, counterparts from the Kenya Forest Service of national government, all the stakeholders in the room, good afternoon. I stand here not just on my own behalf, but on behalf of the Deputy Governor of this great county of Migori. He should have been here today, but you all know, those of us who are familiar with the political context of this country, that tomorrow we have an important meeting in Nairobi, and therefore he has had to travel. So he has given his apologies, but I'm sure all is well, because whatever is being discussed here is rightly in my domain and that of my counterparts from the Environment Department of the County Government of Migori. So I am excited, but I have to give my apologies, personal apologies, because we are here talking about the third phase of this particular intervention. Unfortunately, I was not able to join you in the meeting that you had at, what do you call this hotel across the river? Fairview. I wasn't able to join you, unfortunately. But I'm fully together with you in spirit. I do not promise to be very brief in whatever I will say, because one duty that I have to do is to pitch for the interconnection between what you are doing in this particular project and what we in the county government of Migori are doing. It is important to get that right, because, but first, a very warm welcome to not just this project, but I also need to really appreciate, the support that is coming in through CAC in Acti, our collaborators back in the Netherlands, for finding it fit that Migori becomes one of those counties that benefit from these resources. We do not take that for granted, because as a county government, we have a duty. It is our duty, really, to handle a lot of what is being said here. And what is then happening is that we are getting partners to work with us in a duty and a responsibility that we carry as a government, because matters of climate change, matters of climate resilience, matters of ensuring that our farmers are able to survive in the context of changes that are happening remains our primary duty. We cannot let that go. And therefore, whenever we find any effort, any support that comes in towards that direction, we do not take it for granted. But I also just wanted to begin by saying that as you come in into the third phase, I'm happy that we have grown the number of wards from an initial 2. We are now talking about 6. We still have, from where I sit, I think we still have 34 more wards to go, God willing. And once we demonstrate that there is value, there is impact in what this project is going to achieve, we will finally get there. But there are a few good items, good stories that I want to just pinpoint. Number one, I love your approach of putting and setting up women at the center of this discussion. Why? Because looking at it more broadly, women actually feel they are the number one, high impact, what do I call them? They are very vulnerable. They get very vulnerable. They get highly affected by any changes around matters of livelihood. Yeah, and therefore putting them at the center of an engagement like this really is the right thing to do. Yeah, but also the fact that you have incorporated our school-going children is also very progressive, if you ask me. Why? Because the matters we are talking about is a challenge that is growing. It is a challenge that we are trying to project into the future, and it is those same school-growing children who are likely to live with the impacts of this discussion over a longer period of time. So there is all the reason to really put these two categories, of people at the center of this discussion. So in terms of your model, I think it is a great model. I have spent a lot of my good life in the civil society sector, and I can tell, I can distinguish a good program from a not so good program. Yeah. I also just want to let you know that you are coming in to join efforts that are already ongoing through the county government of Migori. My chief officer here has already alluded to some of those efforts. I am sure you very well know that we have the FLOCA program that is in our sister department doing pretty much matters of restoration, matters of climate smart interventions, matters of dealing with certain emergencies that come with the climate changes that we are witnessing. That is very well positioned. Unfortunately, Migori County is one of those areas that are considered low-lying areas. We take a lot of impacts from what happens upstream of our main rivers that drain into the Lake Victoria. It is very common for you to hear about floods in Migori. Like the other day, we had a very serious, crop damage in this county. I'm trying to struggle. How do I really support those farmers? We had hailstones, very major incidences of hailstones in this county. So we have to do things differently. And therefore, you are joining a setup that is already ongoing. We have the INREM project. The first one is actually World Bank funded. The FLOCA project is World Bank funded. We have the Tunza project. Tunza project is actually FAO funded. Tunza has a lot of similar dimensions to this, working with communities to make sure that we improve their resilience. We also have the INREM project that is CFAD funded, a project that is just coming up now. We are setting up the structures, but I'm sure once it is set up, we will be working pretty much on the same agenda in terms of the approach that you are bringing. We also have the Boost program funded through IFAD, again, trying to improve community resilience. This one is working, I think, in 2 sub-counties, in Kuria West and in Suna West. And therefore, what I'm trying to say is you are joining a relay. You are joining a system that is already working. So you should find it fairly easy to be able to join in. I will be able to share a few perspectives of how we can improve on that. We also have already mapped the hotspots in this county through both the Kenya Forest Service and our sister Department of Environment. We are clear about those areas that require immediate attention in the short term, those that require moderate or in the medium term attention, and those requiring a long-term intervention. So we are clear. So, I mean, do not take too much of your time trying to reinvent the wheel. We have already done most of, the heavy lifting in terms of identifying exactly which areas require what kind of attention. As we speak now, we're already in the process of putting up the agroforestry policy. That is a duty that we carry as county government because policy making is primarily a government function. Yeah, we will deliver that. Of course, here and there, we might call for support from partners like you, but we carry the primary duty in terms of delivering the policy because when all is said and done, these actions must fit a framework that is logical, a framework that is able to speak to our local context here so that we are able to effectively manage the vagaries of weather that we have to live with into the future. Now, just a couple of observations, if you allow me to share. The first one is it's very clear that you have rested a number of activities, the ownership of this project on the farmer, at the farm level, because that is where the rubber meets the road. I have seen programs that can be very high up there. They are never grounded. You do not hear where the farmer is. You do not hear where the community institutions are. You do not get to know that. But I'm happy I followed very keenly. This is one of those presentations that I didn't miss even one word. It's clear. The place of farmers, the place of community institutions is very, very clearly spelled out. Of course, we have the place of government. I was very keen, and that is why I asked where exactly, what role do you see the government doing? It was very clear about what national government needs to do, because gazettement of some of those forest areas is really a national government function. So again, some basics have already gone into this, and you just be joining a system that is already set up. All you need to do is ask, where is this? What was the thought about this? What do you plan about this? And we should be able to move together. Sometimes I get curious when I see this statement here. Did I see it anywhere here? We are non-political. I just want to speak a little to that. And trust you me, I have been in the civil society sector for many years, but I think we need to move from the fear of politics, because what is happening in this project is not one of those things that you can delink entirely from the politics of the day. And I will elaborate this statement. Number one, you are talking, or we are talking about having the right policies in place. You cannot develop a policy if you do not understand the political dynamics of the environment that you are trying to tackle. You have matters of resourcing around some of these engagements. How else do you resource conversations like this if you do not tap certain parts of the political infrastructure of a country? Of course, I'm not telling you to go the political party dimension. Please do not. This has nothing to do with political parties, but it has everything to do with politics, because government institutions are political institutions. How many agree with me? Governments are political, seriously political institutions, and the earlier you begin to learn how to deal and engage with government as a political institution, the better for all of us. So guys, do not shy away. In fact, if I were you, I would just make it very clear that we would be interested in the politics of what is happening, not political parties. Parties is a different thing, but politics as a framework or as a concept of governance is something that do not shy away from. Yeah? Wapi Rogers? Rogers hapana ogopa kusema kwamba nyinyi mutakanyaga penye serikali na politics inakanyaga. But anyway, people interpret that in different ways. So what have we done as Migori County, as the Department of Agriculture, in terms of ensuring that we cushion our farmers against climate change? One of those is, we are alive to certain varieties of crops and seeds that need to be propagated or promoted in certain areas. We have low-lying areas that have, very erratic rainfall around Nyatike. We have appropriate crops. For example, the cassavas that we are talking about here, we are talking about the short maturing maize varieties that we are making available. We are talking about promoting sorghum varieties so that you have the right crop being planted in the right environment. That alone, in my view, is a measure of mitigation. So the seed that we are providing to our farmers is seed. And the kind of crops that we are actually promoting are appropriate for those environments. We also have the promotion of fruit trees. I could hear the conversation about forest cover. Is it increasing forest cover? Is it increasing tree cover? Now we are trying to strike a balance between if you must plant a crop, let it be a fruit tree, because fruit trees, in addition to bringing the environmental benefits, they also have nutritional benefits. They also have immediate income benefits as a livelihood boosting intervention for our farmers. So we are focusing on that. We are focusing on options that maximize on yields and productivity, because the more you have climate change reducing yields in certain ways, then we also need to get smarter by providing, cultivars and seed and inputs so that we can maximize on the yields in an already fragile environment. Those that we are doing. We are focused on diversifying our livelihoods, again, just to spread the risks so that it is not just good enough for a farmer to have crops. We are trying to encourage them to also get into pond fish farming, get into poultry production, get into livestock production. So that is another strategy that we as county government are really focusing on. We are providing climate information to our farmers in the best way we know how, so that then they are better prepared we expect, a long period of drought coming up, or we expect excessive rains coming up, farmers are then able to really plan their activities and engagements with the realities of weather. Yeah, we are doing that in partnership with a number of state agencies, including the Meteorology Department. But providing that information to our farmers remains our duty. Of course, we cannot underestimate the fact that while we are doing all this through our environment department, we remain watchful to be able to provide support, emergency support, where for some reason our farmers either face floods or they face very high levels of food shortage. So we remain alive to that. So just a few thoughts before I sit down. I know you've been here for a while. But as a practitioner in some of these matters, I would be looking forward, and I can see a bit of it, but I think we can improve on co-creation. Having government, having more stakeholders at the table when some of these programs are being designed, so that you can integrate the input of various players right from the word go. That way, then you have a better, you have a better chance of being more impactful. I'm looking forward to the time, Bwana Titus, when we will be thinking of scaling up to the other 36 wards. We sit down with government, we sit down with the other national government, county government institutions, the other players on a round table. We should be able to get it better. Yeah, sustainability has already been mentioned. That on the third year, the focus will be more a lot on sustainability. But I think the best form of sustainability is that is integrated from the word go, from year one, so that even as you engage the community institutions, it is clear you are beginning to sound the fact that these and these are mechanisms that we really need to improve the sustainability. Stakeholder collaboration, I think this looks good enough as of now, because in the room, I was able to pick a number of stakeholders that are very resourceful or very useful in terms of, stakeholders that are resourceful in terms of moving us forward, because that way then you get cross synergies between different players, those who have been there before, those who are able to tell the sharp bends of the journey, and the new ones that are just coming in. Yeah, I have already talked about this impact at scale. 6 wards out of 40 is good. Yes, it's a good start. But I think for us to speak to Migori, because I watch over Migori County, and I would be very keen at any one time to ensure that that discussion, whatever it is, can be replicated, can be scaled up to the wider Migori, because even if we achieve the target forest cover or the target tree cover in the 6 wards, until we are able to achieve it on a wider scale, we will have done very little impact at the county scale. So impact at scale, I think, is something that we need to think about, and we would be happy to talk more about that. Clear actions and outcomes, I think that came out very well. But again, more importantly, governments, we like something that is bold and clear. Do not hide what you expect of us in those little prints. Be very specific about it. Tell us, government, county, we expect this, we expect that, at this time in this way. That is how we listen, because we have a lot of listening to do. So until your agenda is properly pitched, it could get lost in the middle of a lot of noise that we listen. Yeah. So Rogers, just letting you know that we are here, we listen, but you also need to up your voice, yeah, so that then it gets clearly to us. We can integrate some of those voices into our own blueprints. The CIDP, for example, has a number of, a lot of this is already captured in our CIDP alongside our sister Department of Environment. But what am I trying to say? Do not be mild about how you want to approach and focus on this thing. So just something here. There was mention of what crops are we currently looking at in terms of being climate smart. One of them is cassava. a fairly drought-tolerant crop. It is able to survive even in water stress situations. Cassava has faced a problem of diseases, the cassava mosaic virus. A number of our farmers have actually given up on cassava. But the good news is, over the recent 2-3 years, we have had a number of partners working with us in the county government, and we are beginning to turn around that fear because we now have cultivars that are actually resistant or even tolerant to cassava mosaic virus. So as you come in, it is a conversation that we would be willing to have. Of course, other than the disease dimension, we are still dealing with matters of market and utilization of cassava as a crop. The changing lifestyle, in a way, compromises a number of people. There's a generation here, our children and grandchildren, do not exactly relate with the value of cassava as a food crop. But I think we are beginning to rethink that. We are beginning to promote it. Luckily, I can tell you in a number of functions that we go, it is the cassava ugali that moves faster than the maize, which is an indication to me that we are nearly getting there to turn around, the perception around cassava. Sweet potatoes, yes, Migori County remains, I think, between ourselves and Homa Bay, lies number 1 and number 2. We do not know who produces more than the other, but we know we are top 2 in this country. And therein lies, it's also a very good crop. It is a root crop down there. Even when up here it is dry, you can still be sure that you have a crop underground there. Drought tolerant, very nutritive. It's also a very good strategy for storage of food, so that communities are able to handle their food security better. So as I speak to you now, we have been grappling as a county government of how do we get back the Getonganya sweet potato processing plant on its feet, so that then it becomes an off-taker of the thousands of tons of sweet potatoes that this county produces. I am happy to report to you that we have worked on the modalities of it. We have only yesterday, we did put a bill in our county assembly of Migori the day before yesterday. So we have the green light to get an investor who is going to come in, put in more resources, put in additional skills, so that we can be able to have that sweet potato plant, in action, so that we can be able to steer, or we can be able to spur more production of sweet potatoes. I thought it is important to mention that. We are also heavily focused on promotion of the Nyota bean. Nyota bean is a very high iron, short maturing bean plant, and it is on our radar because we believe very good for intercropping with maize and so many other, even the fruit trees. So for those of you who are coming in and you're just trying to check what crops would we be talking about, then there we are. Last but not least, we have a very elaborate program of doing soil testing across the county. We have 3 programs that are working towards that. Why soil testing? Because we have realized, and it is a scientific fact, that the overuse of DAP as planting fertilizer has actually made a lot of our soils acidic. What that does is that once you have a soil that is acidic, there are certain micronutrients that are not available to the plant. I don't want to go into the science. So we want to make sure that farmers at the household level, at the farm level, are able to apply the right fertilizer for their microenvironment. We want to avoid blanket application of, is it 1 bag or 2 bags per acre of DAP, even in places where what you need is a correction rather than making an already bad situation worse. Finally, it is the whole discussion around policy making. Yeah, climate change and climate smart agriculture for us in that sector remains an area that requires a proper steer in terms of making sure that the legislative and policy frameworks are in place. I said that is our duty. That is my primary duty as the CEC member for agriculture here, and I will not drop that duty. for anything else. I will ensure that we develop those. But again, it's a call. Yeah, let us know, you as programs working in the county and other stakeholders, what is that you would like to see in a document like that, so that then we retain our relevance. You can develop a very good policy, but for as long as it does not speak to the needs of the users, then it remains a document. And that is why sometimes Kenya, we have been accused very many times as government that we are very good in churning out policy documents, but we are very poor in executing some of those. Why? Because you go through it and you realize that whatever is contained there does not speak to Atieno and Mwita and whoever in this county. So it remains there. Atieno does not know that that document is for her. The other party there doesn't know. But if we can ensure that these documents speak to the users, then we have a much higher chance of making our county a better county. Let me not go into too much of this. I can speak on and on and on and on, but just to say that all is well. We will be looking forward to the additional engagements at the sub-county and the ward level. I will keep an eye on that, but obviously I am here, myself, the chief officer, the colleagues, staff from the county government. Let us know, and we should be able to give you all the support that you need to ensure that we ground this particular initiative that is coming up. I think with those few remarks, I now don't know whether I'm closing or am I opening this one. Huh? I am opening and closing at the same time. Huh? So yeah, sorry. Yes. Yes. We can open up the floor a little, yeah? So that it's not too formal. It's not too serious, after all. Yes.
I see that you have two concerns. Number one is the integration aspect of which you have talked about. We have sector development working groups. These are formal groups or committees in all the departments.
Yeah.
And you find their composition of those sector development working groups. I will be very specific to environment and climate change work committees.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see the composition of those committees. So for us as civil society organization, that is where we come in. So that if there is anything that we want to discuss with the government,
Yeah.
we are engaged in those sector working in those committees. So that is one aspect of integration, and it's worked very well, both for the county government and national government. Number two, we have development partners projects coming into the county.
Yeah.
Like for example, a good one, the Chief Officer said, Fmnr. This is a new project coming into the county.
Yeah.
By design, you will be able to see those development committees or at the implementation point, the involvement of different stakeholders, and especially public benefit organizations, the civil society organizations. So those committees, we also come in as partners.
Yeah.
You get it? So why am I saying this? If you will be able to identify those committees and give us the opportunity to be part and parcel of it, the implementation becomes very easy. If there is any new idea that you want to set in, it will work for us. You can see right now, you are here at Wazir, but this is now an invitation from the public benefit organization. If we could be going this direction, we can move very fast. So we want clear engagement and involvement in those development partner projects coming to the country and the involvement of us. In the last year, when I was speaking, I was very specific. The Chief Officer of Environment. If you look at the county climate change policy 2020, it's more than 5 years. And therefore, that policy is mature for reading. When you do the reading, engage with us. There's a petition in Waziri's office where we also requested our input so that when we are doing the reading, we will be able to bring this idea, what we are talking about here, in that policy. It will bring a lot of impact and change. So those are the two concerns that whenever there is any policy, please engage with us. Development partners having programs, engage with us. And in my ex account, I think about 2 weeks ago, I said the fear is gone. you are now encouraging us that as civil society organization we should be bold and clear. We are bold and clear, but when we are saying the fear is gone, I want you to underline that the fear has gone in the terms of engagement. Don't look at me as somebody who has come to criticize your government. No, look at me as somebody who has come as a partner, because a partner is a win-win situation. So the fear has gone. We shall be engaged. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Titus. Yeah, I see a hand there. That is Nyapete. Yes.
Sometimes I love the boldness and openness, and I admire anytime you speak what is in your mind. And I don't always shoot support. And exactly that is what you say. And I want to encourage ourselves here that boldness that you mentioned a policy that your department is working on.
Yeah.
Agro-processing,
Agroecology. Yeah.
I was just used to seek clarification. The involvement of other stakeholders apart from the government officials, and if the public-private organizations see a membership are in that committee or in that beginning stages, or at what point are you planning to involve them? Because we speak of inclusivity, and for us to understand, we also support the manifesto of the governor, which is the manifesto of the government of the state. We must understand it from the ground, isn't it? So if there are representatives from the civil society or from development partners that are part and parcel of the development of that policy from the level, also share with us. So that is my, and it based on cognition, which we also stress so much.
Yeah.
Because if you fail to involve us as dictionary, then it will come, you will have a very nice English, but the implementation will become a problem. And it will also avoid duplication. Sometimes you're working on that policy, and another partner is willing to support that policy, but because of lack of inclusivity, they will sit with that resource, isn't it? So trying to clarify on that, and if that is not there, then identify from pillars they are now, because you can see their project is properly aligned. They nominate somebody to be part and parcel of that discussion from the onset, so that
Okay.
we start action.
So thank you for the two questions from Titus and Nyapete. I will begin by summarizing that good governments, and I believe we have a good government in place in this county, and even at the national level, good governments listen. They do not work in a vacuum. Yeah. Governments are people-centered. They are put in whatever positions by the people that entrusted them with the mandate to lead them. So what am I saying in a nutshell is that I will speak first about your question. We have set up ward-level committees under the FLOCA program and a few other programs where we are trying to make decision-making and actions at the most basic level of our governance structures as county governments. And we have space for civil society engagements at that level. But if you feel, and I would want to have a conversation with our colleagues from the environment, if you feel that we need to expand that opportunity, that space, why not? I mean, we can only get better if we have better space for civil society or any other stakeholders to join us at that level or at the sub-county level or at the county level or even at the national level. All that it takes is what I said, voice up and say we are here, we feel the room that you have created for us is not big enough, make it bigger, make it better so that we can be more impactful, yeah? So those ones exist at the ward level, but also we have within the agriculture department what we are calling the County Agricultural Steering Committee. This is a county-wide structure that has space you have representation. There is somebody or some representatives from civil society sector. That's ASCOM. But again, if you look at it and you think it can be made better, it can be expanded, why not? We are here to provide services in the best way we can to the people of Migori. So we will engage. We will, talk about what can we be able to change so that we make it better. So do not fear. We are here. Luckily, and I think you guys need to take advantage that currently the CEC member for agriculture is somebody who is well aligned to the thinking that is in this room. Yeah? Make no mistake, I came to government only 2-3 years ago. The rest of my life, I have been out there. So you can ride on some of these opportunities that present themselves. And that is why I said, the politics, musiogope sana, get close to it. Get to understand who is leading this team in agriculture. What is his mindset? What does he believe in? What can he do? What can he not do? So, but I want to believe any other CEC member in my position should be able to offer the same support. My brother Nyapete, yes, we have the agroecology policy. As government, we have been able to pitch together bits and pieces of it because we must lead from the front. What, however, is remaining is for us to now bring and seek the input, seek, the thoughts of the other stakeholders, like those of you in the room and others. That is where we are. So very soon, you should be able to hear me shout out there that we are here, would like input. Kindly, when we make that call, just step forward and let us hear your thoughts so that we can make the agroecology policy as practical and as useful as it can get. So we are still there. We haven't lost you out yet. We are talking to 1 or 2, 3 friends and partners out there. And I could as well be talking to our brothers in the room, but that is a conversation that we'll pick up. I would wish to naturally just stop there. You have something to add?
I wanted just to...
Agui here is from our Department of Environment, so yeah.
We have a Migori County Climate Change Act, and it has established a World Climate Change Committee, which comprises of the following members. We have each World Climate Change and is comprised of 1 chairperson elected by members of the committee and ratified by the planning committee. We have 2 youth representatives from both gender, women representative, 3 representatives of the key economic activity in the ward, which have an impact to the environment. We also have a representative of CBOs actively operating in the ward, dealing with climate change or environmental issues, a representative of a faith-based organization, a representative of people living with a disability, and the ward administrator. So what I wanted to say, Waziri, I think the term of the committee is soon expiring, and when we are going to have another committee, I think now they have understood the composition so that they can come in. Thank you.
Nafikiri umesikia bwana board member Titus, eh? We have room for somebody representing a CBO that is engaged in this kind of matters. But just as he said, I think that committee now has done its 3 years. Eh? Yeah. So we will soon be getting new membership. Just be on the lookout. My brother there, Rogers, weka masikio kwa ground, sikiliza hii kitu inafanyika lini, where is the space for us, tunaingia hapo namna gani. That is all it takes. Yeah. So, but we are ready to really engage and make it the best that we can. Yes.
I'm Onyango from Kakrao. And from your presentation, I think the county government is doing good. Though I think there is a lapse somewhere. Apart from the committees that my good friend here is talking about, and the policies and that the county governments are doing, I don't think, because I'm coming from the community, you have several programs and projects that are running within your department. But from the look of things, I'm satisfied now that the county government is doing something. But these things are not down at the community level. Nobody knows them. I think they're resting at the community levels and in those boardrooms. Because from what we are talking about now, to me, the county government is doing so good, but we don't know about these things. Kindly find a way. Like maybe you can ride on the structures and the platform of Pillar Sky Foundation on things like Fmnr that the Pillar Sky is doing, so that these things are felt in the community. I believe whatever the county government is doing is for the benefit of the community.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, those things are not being felt there. They're in the boardrooms, in the community level, and the community doesn't know about them. Kindly find a way that those things we're talking about here, the community knows about them. The communities are engaged about them, so that the impact can be felt. Thank you, Waziri.
Thank you. I think I cannot add beyond that, because it's true. Yeah, and it's not just the things I've talked about. The government, the county government of Migori particularly, is doing so much, but I think we have a gap in terms of the communication and the people getting to know what is being done for them. It's an area that will for sure improve. But even as we think about improving as government, I think the rest of you in the room who represent those communities also, we need to style up. Can I use that word, style up? Yes. Because you also have a duty to pick whatever it is and communicate it downstream. So I think both parties, both sides, we have to pull up our socks, both government and the representation from various community institutions. We have in a way failed. There's a lot that is happening around some of these things from government, but we will improve on how the beneficiaries and our communities and stakeholders get to know about them. Maybe had I not come here, a lot of what I've said would not have been in the public domain. Now the challenge will be, if 2 weeks from today, I walked in these 6 wards, would they get to know by any way what the county government is doing? I don't know. No? I also don't know. But we will for sure step up in that area. And thank you so much for bringing it up. So, Nyapete, is your hand up?
Just a proposed amendment in the list that going forward, in the list that...
Oh, this one of the ward committees?
Yeah, because we have 2 tiers of government, and this government trickles down up to the village.
Oh.
So in terms of presentation, as the ward admin remains there, we can also have a chief. Chief is there.
For national government. I think the chief is part of that committee.
Okay. If the chief is part of that, then the information should cascade to the public. Yes, that was my concern. I didn't hear part of that chief.
So I think at that point, I can actually declare this meeting officially open. And I think closed. I'm not sure, but as something
Thank you very much, Waziri, for that elaborate, even on some of the things the department is doing that we were not aware of. I'm aware of the committees, but when they were formed, we did not participate. So we are aware that it's coming closer to the end.
This is the time. Get in.
We will find ourselves in.
Yeah.
Please, just to add on what our colleagues said on the value chain, I think we are going to do the fruit trees. We are going to do, on the dairy, we are going to do what is called animal fodder, and that is Napier and bamboo for animal fodder. That's what we are going to promote. We are also doing beekeeping on this as well. Instead of local poultry, we are going to do local ducks. Because of poultries, they are vulnerable. The diseases,
Local ducks.
Ducks.
Oh.
You see that? I think that's the only difference we have. cassava, sweet potato, African leafy vegetables, bananas, and the nyota beans. So I think we are aligned together as we are working going forward in ensuring that we increase the food basket at household level. Being that said, Waziri, I want to say I want to believe that when you spoke, you're not planning to leave because we had prepared some lunch and some tea. You didn't take your 10 o'clock tea. So ensure you take your 4 o'clock tea together with us. It will be a great honor to have you in the remaining part of the day as well. But after this, we like to have a group photo out there so that we can put in our archives. We want next time we share some of our documents, we don't share with foreigners. We share with our people who have participated on the ground here as well. Yes? No, not you. I'm not saying that. At one time, Waziri participated. That was just on it. But I am very grateful for the Chief Officer, Agriculture, the Office of the County Secretary, and now Waziri for honoring our invitation and being part of this meeting today. We want to, at this juncture, we want to have our lunch. I've been informed that our lunch is already, it's ready. And we are standing between our colleagues who have a meeting upstairs. So we were to serve the first people to serve before them. So after this, I want somebody to pray for our meals. I've been informed it's ready already about that, but I want to believe that all of us have registered. All of us we have registered. We have registered. So we will take a group photo. Then we proceed to lunch. Then there is a second phase, a presentation we wanted to do when you were there, when you are seated here. So we really wanted you to see some of the findings before you leave. I'm only pleading with the Chief Officer Agriculture and the County Secretary's Office, please ensure that you retain Waziri not to leave until we present that. After that, he is free to leave. But the two of you, we want to request you that you stay a bit with us up to.
Okay.
Yeah. No, group photo, then lunch. Yes. Yes. Because the food is ready. Bishop, can you bless the food for us? Let's stand.
Thank you and honor you for this humble prayer with thanksgiving in Jesus' name. Amen.
We want to take a group photo here. This here. Oh,